Good morning, everyone. Thank you for those who are able to attend in person today, as well as those who are watching us live on Facebook. This is our third required public hearing related to the 2026 millage rate proposal. Again, we have held two as of last week. This evening, we will actually have our regularly scheduled council meeting where we will vote to adopt the millage rate for 2026. So right now, we're going to go over a couple slides, and then I will open it up for any questions, as well as anybody that is watching live on Facebook. Please feel free to put a question in Facebook's comments, and we will do our best to address those for you. So now we're going to just go over the agenda. All right. So for our agenda today, we're going to go over what is our millage rate proposal for the city of Grovetown. Then we're going to look at the general fund. Where do our revenues come from? What do we use the property taxes we collect for? And then, of course, next we're going to go over the effect of maintaining the millage rate. Then we're going to look at what our city taxes are in context. So pretty much what the portion of the city taxes are of your total tax bill. So what is our millage rate proposal? Our millage rate proposal for the city of Grovetown this year is to just maintain the current millage rate of 6.948 mills. And why? And you may ask why we are doing that? Well, primarily because of the continued growth we're seeing here in Grovetown. As you all know, anyone that has been a resident for a long time has seen some significant population growth. If you look back at the year 2000, the city of Grovetown population was an estimated 6,089 people. And then if you look now, our estimated population right now is nearing 18,300. We also are trying to be competitive in the workforce. Anyone that lives around here, you know that there are a lot of companies that are moving to the Columbia County and CSRA as a whole, which means there's a lot of options for the citizens around here to get just be gainfully employed. And the city of Grovetown wants to be able to compete with those other companies around here. And then, of course, service delivery cost. Each of us has seen the increase in costs, whether it be at the gas pump or the grocery store. Well, the city of Grovetown is not immune to that. We also have costs associated with equipment and other maintenance items that continue to go up, and we want to make sure that we can continue to provide the same level of service that we have, and that just means that there's an increased cost. So we're asking to maintain our current millage rate. Again, not an increase, but just to maintain the current millage rate of 6.948 mills. So where are the revenues from the city of Grovetown come from? Property taxes are only one source of the general fund. There are many other sources. Now, property taxes do account for approximately 29% of the total general fund revenues, but other sources include the local option sales tax, other taxes and fees. Those other taxes typically include franchise taxes, alcohol beverage taxes, excise taxes, as well as the financial institution tax and insurance premium tax. Then we have garbage fees, the LMIG, which is for transportation projects, fines and forfeitures from our public safety department only account for approximately 2% of our total budget. License fees and permits, which is where our planning and development department collects their fees, that's going to be about 3%. The most common fee that you'll see there is going to be your business licenses. And then lastly, we've got miscellaneous. That's going to include some donations, maybe some small grants that we receive here and there, as well as the interest on any bank accounts that we may have. The next slide here, again, is just one. I wanted to put this in there just so we could see the same information in a different format. Sorry, I've lost the ability to click forward. There we go. So, again, you'll see that property taxes account for about 29% of our total revenue for the year. Our total estimated revenues for the upcoming fiscal year is $16,055,750. Again, we're estimating property taxes to account for roughly 30% of that total revenue. So what services do our property taxes provide? So if we go through this list here, you're going to see we have police protection, we have firefighters and medical responders, we've got road maintenance and repair, we've got our curbside rough trash and grass clippings pickup that we provide to our citizens on a bi-weekly basis. Our street lights. If you see around in the other municipalities surrounding the city of Grovetown, you're going to see that street lights is sometimes listed as a separate item on your tax bill. However, we wrap that up into our total operations and maintenance budget. We also provide our parks and recreation, which includes our city events, as well as the community center out at Liberty Park, and our new depot. Planning and zoning, again, I kind of touched on this a few minutes ago. We have our municipal court, as well as building permits and plan reviews. This is not an exhaustive list, but this is a significant amount of where do your property taxes go and what do they help provide the services for. So what is the effect of maintaining the millage rate? So I'm using an example of a home with an appraised value of $250,000. We believe that's about the median value of homes here in Grovetown. So to get your property tax total bill, you're going to take the appraised value and multiply it by 40% to get what is called your assessed value. 40% of $250,000 is $100,000. You're then going to take that assessed value and multiply it by our millage rate. So $100,000 times 6.948 mils, which is 0.006948 if you start moving over the decimal point, is going to result in a tax bill for the city of Grovetown of $695. So what would be the effect of maintaining the millage rate? Again, we're not changing the multiplier of 6.948 mils, but we're not going to deny the fact that some homes will increase in value, which would change that appraised value. So let's take a $250,000 home and assume a 10% increase in the fair market value or the appraised value. That's going to change that $250,000 home to a $275,000 home. We're then going to multiply that times 40% or 0.4, and that's going to give us to $110,000. We're going to take that new $110,000 assessed value and multiply it by the same millage rate of 6.948 mils, which is going to result in a total amount for the year of $764. Well, the difference due to the 10% increase in assessment is approximately $69 per year or $5.75 per month. So as you can see, even though we have not changed the millage rate, if your home continues to appreciate in value, you still may see a higher tax bill. So what about your city taxes in context of your total bill? So you'll note here on this slide that the city of Grovetown is approximately 25% of your total bill. There's other options included. You'll see that the Columbia County Board of Education continues to be the largest portion of your city tax bill in general. You also see the Columbia County Board of Commissioners is approximately 15%, and the Columbia County General Obligation Bond is approximately 2%. If you do reside outside the city of Grovetown, you'll also note a fire tax if you're in the unincorporated portions of Columbia County. We do not have a separate millage rate for our fire department. Again, that entire amount is rolled up into our general millage rate, which is part of our O&M calculation. So you'll see that even with the 6.948 and maintaining that millage rate, you'll still see that your total tax bill, the city of Grovetown, only is about 1/4 of your total tax bill. So in summary, again, going through this pretty quickly, and please feel free for those who are watching on Facebook to reach out and ask any questions you may have. We are not proposing a millage rate increase. We are trying to maintain our current millage rate of 6.948 mils. And that's just, again, to manage continued growth, establish competitive salaries, and so that we can continue to provide the same level of service to our citizens that we have been at the high level that we've been able to maintain. With that being the case, we will be considering the vote tonight. Mayor and council will be voting on setting the millage rate tonight at our 6:30 regularly scheduled council meeting. It will be one of our agenda items. If you aren't able to attend this meeting or ask any questions now, please feel free to come tonight and ask any questions, and we'll do our best to answer them as we can. But this is the last, again, this is our third required public hearing, and as such, this will be the last requirement. We have met the last requirement of that. So again, tonight, if you are able, or please reach out, and we will do our best to answer any questions. But barring that, we will be closing our public hearing this morning. So thank you all for those who were able to watch on Facebook, and we look forward to hearing from you.